Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball, HTB. I hope you're well. Thanks for joining me. If you're new, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, share it, whatever. I'd appreciate it. But in saying that, I've got a video here now. As you can see, yes, that's right. It is to do with international teams, and I thought I'd have a go and picking my best 18 for the Samoan team, basically, and giving you guys my reasons and sort of going off that. So in saying that, I've got a ball to catch. Be right back. Alright guys, so as we know with the Samoan squad here, there's been a few players who in my opinion have led the charge in regards to, just being the top sort of players. You've got Brian Toa, one of them, who are one winger of the year, the other side anyway. You got Luai as well, who in my opinion has been such a standout player, has risen. You've got Paulo as well, you've got Papali. You've got a plethora of players who I think can definitely make a sudden impact for the Samoan squad. So in saying that, without further ado, I'll get into it. But just note as well, there are some players that I've missed. Now, the reason why I've done it is obviously some of these players here have probably put their hands up to represent, say, for example, Australia and or New Zealand first, which is fine. That's cool. So what I've done is, with that in mind, I've sort of tried to work around that as well, and I still believe this team here would kick some butt. So we'll get into it. All right. So for the fullback, I have is Joseph Swali, and we all know he started off young. I think he's about 18 years old now. He's going to get better with age and experience, obviously. But to start so young shows that there's something special about him. I do see him making more impact. And in saying that as well, playing for the Roosters, you can never go wrong there. So I've got him at fullback. The wings are Brian To'o, as well as Jackson Paulo. And obviously To'o for the Panthers, Paulo for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I think Jackson Paulo for mine has risen to the occasion. He's gotten better as the games have gone on, and he was a standout in the finals run as well. Knows how to score tries, is a decent defender as well, and is not afraid of that high ball. Toa on the other end as well. What can I say? Grand finalist winner, New South Wales, Origin winner as well. Winger is of the year type candidate as well. There's not too much there that hasn't been said that's positive that you can say anymore. Now Toa, obviously we know he eats the meters. He's such a great player, and with the ball in hand as well, he's so threatening. So those are my two wingers there. Now for the centers, I have Stephen Crichton as well as Hamiso Tabuai Fido, and that's an interesting selection there. Crichton for the Panthers and Tabuai Fido for the Cowboys. Now with Tabuai, the reason why I've selected him there, his pace. And for those of you who don't know, yes, he does have Samoan heritage in him, and just that he's very fast, very elusive, and also knows how to find a good gap, especially that center position. And you can also move him about as well. You could obviously move him over to Swali's position, vice versa. So again, he's very flexible in that sense. Stephen Crichton as well, again, standout center, has played so well. Again, part of that premiership winning team along with To'o, and is just tall dude, and the way I did it was I wanted to sort of space them out. So obviously To'o and Crichton in terms of height, right? Crichton being obviously taller, and then Jackson Paulo as well as Tabuai Fido with that height as well. I think those can sort of play well, sort of help each other mix anyway. Now we'll get into the halves. For the halves, I have Jerome Luai as well as Chanel Harris Tavita. Now the reason why I have obviously Luai 6 for obvious reason. Just that ad-lib footy. He can switch it on a dime at any minute. He can just go from here to there. And in terms of opening up a game, he's the guy you want. And yeah, with my selection of Chanel Harris Tavita, again, I thought he's someone who, granted injuries, but still had some game to show. I think he would work well. He does work well with ad-lib footy players. In saying that as well, I think he would add more to that defensive structure of the Samoan team, and hopefully with some game management should be able to work well with Jerome Luai, but I've picked him for that as well. So my props are Moses Leota as well as Junior Paulo. And bear with me, obviously Leota, premiership winner, Penrith Panthers, and you've got Bolo as well, and the Eels, and obviously just back to Aluai, Panthers, Shana Harris Tavita Warriors. So with the props again, big, strong runners of the ball defensively. They've got good tanks on them as well, which is what I think you need for that forward pack. The Samoan forward pack will also have with them, more aggressive sort of a style of play. I think defensively is where their strength will shine. Offensively, they'll be good, don't get me wrong, but I think defensively that's where it'll come, particularly the attrition end of the game, particularly when it's after 50 minutes, when the game gets tough. I think that's when they'll be at their best, and that's why I've got these players there who you can trust absolutely game in, game out, And then for my hooker, I have, surprisingly, is Jazz Tavanga, who plays for the Warriors. Jazz, because again, leadership, the defense, doesn't mind a bit of niggle, but again, gets the job done, is a solid player, can have some solid carries with him, and I think would be a good player to have as a starting hooker for this Samoan team. So for the second rows, I have Luciano Leilua for the West Tigers, as well as Josh Schuster for Manly. Now again, this is a pick here that I think would work well. Ball skills, defense. Josh Schuster just has it all, and I guess in the other end of the spectrum too, you got Luciano Leilua as well, who I think works in tandem with Josh Schuster, just being that ball and all player. Guys who just have a bit of skill to them will work well. Imagining these guys on the edges as well, breaking a line, having a little flick pass, having a little no-looker, whatever you want to call it, would be great for the Samoan team, particularly out wide. And that's what I've got him. And obviously, again, the motor on him, as well as Leilua, I do think he's a very gritty player. He does a lot of the 1%ers, and personally is one of my favorite players to watch. And we go into the locking position, and that's where I've given it to the all-experienced Mari Tapau. We all love Tapau for Manly. Don't need to explain why. Good player, and can lead from the front. He's got the experience. He's been there. He's one to watch. As I said, he's strong workman, defensively sound. And in saying that as well, he likes to up the tempo when things get a bit tough, which is good to see. Now to the bench. I've got a full bench here. 3 forwards. I've gone with the 2 props, 1 second row, as well as 1 utility. Tommy Talau for the West Tigers. Now, bear with me. He's played centre, winger, 5'8", and hooker. He's somebody that will be perfect coming off the bench, particularly if you need to have help with Tavanga or the halves or any of the backs. Again, he's somebody there, and I think he could even be maybe even a lock. We'll see how that goes there, but again, just somebody who does it all. And again, for me personally, hasn't had a bad season. Will grow, I'm sure, next season. Now, the other 2 I've got, the 2 props I have is Josh Papali for the Raiders and Bunty R4. Now, with Josh Papali, again, that experience, that championship sort of, background with Origin, that gritty, just hard-nosed approach to the game, solid ball runner, solid defender, doesn't really say much, but I think he's a very intimidating sort of a player on the field. And to get him with his experience coming off the bench as well, what more do you want? That is such a brutal tactic to use him in, and just the best way you can use him, coming off the bench when the opposition forwards are tired. I think that'll be great. Again, Ubuntu R4 works well off the bench, defensively, sound, much like Papali as well, adds more to that bench. Will actually be a very beneficial player as well, particularly the hit-ups. We all love the bunty from the back fence sort of thing, and what more could you ask for there? And last I've got is Jaden Su'a for the Dragons now, and I think I've added him because, again, he's got stamina, he's a good defender, gritty, loves to put in the big hit, and on top of that as well, runs a sweet line. But in saying that, with that, he will get better with time, I'm sure. And in saying that as well, has been one of the stand-up players for me personally for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. The last is the 18th man, and I've chosen Spencer Lenu for this. It was a toss-up between him, Ronaldo Mulitalo, so again, there's just a few players there that have just missed out. It was pretty tough there, but I went with Spencer Lenu, Penrith Panthers. He can play prop second row as well as lock. Obviously, if anything happens there, he would be the go-to guy. But in saying that, that is my Toa Samoa squad, and I think for me personally, the squad here will do a lot of damage. Now, hey, tell me, am I right? Am I wrong? What do you sort of think? I'd like to hear some opinions there, but that is my Rugby League World Cup Toa Samoa squad. And yeah, I had fun doing this. So again, guys, tell me what you think. And yeah, we'll just go from there. But in saying that, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Thanks again for watching. If you're new, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You're the best. If you made it this far, don't forget to, yeah, take it easy. And yeah, this Toa Samoa squad, I think they'll have no issue holding the ball. See you guys next time.